Hi guys, we have Mr. Kapil Moye with us. He's a counsel at Bombay High Courts and he practices various judicial as well as quasi-judicial since last 20 years. Welcome Kapil, how are you doing?
Very well, Avinash. How are you?
I'm good,
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we are all in the same boat. So thank you for spending your time with us. Appreciate that. I'm going to make it short and quick over here. Directly get to the points I wanted to discuss with you. What's going on with the high courts? I believe it's close till 30th April.
Yes, high courts are in case of lockdown. Everything's in a situation of lockdown. So the high courts have also shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, if you want to move something in the court, you have to present an urgent precipice. A precipice is more like a request. You have to mention in that precipice what is your urgency. Because right now in the High Court, we have about 4 or 5 judges and particular dates which have been given when courts will sit and hear matters, but it will also only be done by video conferencing. So that's how this is working right now.
Wow. And is the technology, does the Bombay High Courts have good technologies to handle a situation like this?
Yes, of course. Everybody is rising up to the occasion. So also the High Court is rising up to the occasion. The judiciary is rising up to the occasion. And we all must. And there will be a new normal when everything starts. But till then, we have to do what it takes. And the courts are going to do what it takes to reach out to people who need their help.
Yeah.
I mean, in the long run, always, of course, it's always said that justice is open to everybody in the same way as the Ritz Hotel, because in the long run, it's an expensive thing. The luxury of litigation is not something everybody can afford. But in situations where people need justice and people need urgent justice, the courts will, of course, reach out, and there will be a method of doing this. And right now, we are following that. The court is following that.
And all the dates, whatever was there in March and April has been postponed. Have they been given a timeline or there's no timeline given yet?
No, there are no timelines as such required. See, to make it very clear, I am a civil lawyer. I practice on the civil side of things. There have been there was one hearing that Justice Patel held through Zoom conferencing, which related to some urgent bail applications and things like that. And that went off pretty well. But whether or not the same methodology can be followed in the future, we don't know. I don't see the traditional method of working in courts being done away with, because that can never be done away with. But where urgency is there and where the courts have to step up, the courts are stepping up.
So that's something good. If somebody needs an urgent help, the courts are there to do that.
Yes,
so,
that's always available.
I recently read, maybe in the morning or yesterday, not sure, that the CEO of TCS said, this is something new for us, but this is a way forward for all the employees, saying the future is we need only 25% of the staff working in the companies, in the offices. Rest 75% can actually work from home. They've actually seen an increase in production from their employee side. And which is great news, because you never expected that the people who work from home would be more productive right now. And you see that, I mean, from your juniors also, if you need any help, you probably go to them. They can work from home and get some work for you before you do an argument in the court.
Yes. So like I said, there will be a new normal when everything starts.
Yeah.
People will have to start working. Courts will have to start working in a fashion which decongests courtrooms, primarily asking people or litigants to fill forms when their matter is, when they need to be in court. The courts now cannot function like offices. Courts will have to function in a manner where on a strictly need to be there basis. There will be no squatting around people, because otherwise you see people coming to court and they're in court all day long. That's not going to happen. I don't see that happening in the future. People have to pull up their socks. Lawyers will have to pull up their socks, and we'll all have to rise to the occasion to decongest the courts.
Yeah, and that will hopefully follow right away. We've seen a lot of places. I have a friend of mine. He's just started his essential services, and he's again, keeping this 6 feet space, making sure they're testing with with the thermometers. They're doing all the sanitization, whatever is required, disinfect the entire place on a regular basis now for the last couple of days, since the essential services allowed from the IT services was allowed from the 20th of April, and they've done that now. So some of the staff are coming in, and that's probably
Yes. So these Avinash, these are physical challenges which I'm sure the court administration will rise to. But even otherwise, in some sense, we will have to help in the decongestion of courts. All of us. I mean, whether it is limiting of arguments, whether it is requiring people to come to court, whether it's requiring presence of as many lawyers or as many litigants in court, everything will have to be regulated. And there are ways and means of regulating this. It's happening regularly in the Supreme Court. So why can't it happen in the Bombay High Court?
Bombay High Court as well.
And decongestion, decentralizing. Anyways, like in the last few years, you've seen, ever since I joined the profession, we've seen so many various judicial forums being formed, like DRT for banking matters. And then there is the Company Law Tribunal, and there's CESTAT, and there's consumer courts and things like that. So that decentralization that is there, that will have to be taken forward. And I think that's how you decongest courts then. That's the way to do it.
Yeah. You in the beginning, you mentioned that it's a luxury to have litigation is a luxury, right?
Yes. The luxury of litigation, of course, yes.
And currently the entire world is going through major economic problems.
Yes.
Do you see a professional problem? I mean, do you see a problem in your profession where people would probably delay their matters for a while?
For sure. In the short run, I'm quite certain litigation is going to take a hit. It's bound to take a hit. Everything, like I said earlier, everything is going to be on a need basis, on a need to be basis. Everything's going to be necessity based. So your luxury items now, we are talking about luxury litigation and the litigation of luxury. But I was also seeing some programs yesterday, and they were talking about cruise liners. For example, cruise liners. Well, how are they going to do their businesses? Do people really need to go on a cruise? Do people really need jewelry? Do people really need to buy diamonds? Do people really need to do this? So also, do people really need to go to court? That's going to be on a strictly need to do basis as well, I think. So when push comes to shove, I think it's going to be a tough task. It's going to be a tough year or so in the next year. Yes, I see this. But eventually everything draws level and everything comes to par. But I think for the next year or so, we can easily talk about taking a hit in litigation.
Do you see the crime rate going up because of the unemployment also going up?
That's a sociological question, actually. But I could happen. We've already seen crime rates going up in the web space. Yesterday, I read an article where a lot of people have lodged complaints about spyware and ransomware and things like that. So I can see those things going up because people are now using more and more software.
Right.
We are right now using a software which we never used before.
Correct.
What are the security concerns? How safe is this? How safe is the data which is stored in my phone right now from the software that we are using right now? These are different challenges also.
Yeah, especially you're right. There's a lot of crimes going on in the cyberspace right now. And
cyberspace is going to be a big thing, yes.
And unfortunately, I think the Indian cyberspace, well, they're pretty good, but still, the hackers seem to always get the better of most of the cyberspace.
Yes, of course, because at the end of the day, what is a virus? A virus is another computer program, right?
Right.
It's a computer program which is being used wrongly. Just like, what are your cancer cells in the body? They are cells of your own body which are growing wrongly. So what's a virus? It's a computer program. It's another computer program which is being used wrongly. So it's like that in every body, in every mechanism. There is something that can go wrong. And so also in the cyberspace, I see many things going wrong. And that could, to answer your question, whether crime rates are going to go up, yes, I see this happening more in the cyberspace than anywhere else.
Okay. And trying to close this interview now, how do you spend your daily day life now? I'm pretty sure it's tough for you to stay at home.
Yes, of course, it's very tough to stay at home. Litigators especially are out in court all day. They're not even in their offices. So guys like us, we're out in court all day. So staying stuck at home, but yeah, there's a fair bit to do. Watching movies, reading books, reading up on case law and things like that. And of course, arbitration work is there. Since I have been appointed arbitrator in quite a few matters. There are some awards that I need to write, and on the personal space, I'm using time to do that as well.
That's great. Yeah. So you're kind of using that creatively, which you didn't get time before, I guess, to do all of that.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Kapil. I appreciate your time. And I'm sure I would like to do another one with you in maybe a couple of weeks or a month's time, if you're okay with that.
Sure, Avinash. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a good day now. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.